Welcome to week 2 of module 4. This week we are looking at fire. We're building up in complexity again. So we're going to start out by providing you with a geometry. So this is an approximation of the corridor that you can see in the footage. So we've got a plate of a corridor. The aim is to set fire to this corridor. So just like before, just like most pyro simulations, we're starting out by setting up a nice detailed source, right? And what's different about this week is that we're going to be, for the one part, painting our attributes and playing around with the values, but we're also looking at a new feature of Houdini 18, which is the pyro source spread SOP. Right, which is a node in the SOP context, which we can. It's actually a simulation, so it's and underneath it's a simple simulation which is simulating the spread of fire. It's kind of like an infection. People kind of talk about them like an infection simulation. So you have a bunch of points. You start with a kind of hot part in the middle, and that spreads out. That heats up other points, and we add noise and fuel. Different kind of things to make it look better, more interesting. Okay, and it has quite a lot of features inside it as well, but it just helps to give you a nice source, which we kind of go over and over again, which is really, really important for a good pyro simulation. So once that's ready, we rasterize everything out. So our burn. So this is the new way of dealing with fire within pyro as well. So instead of using fuel in the past, now it's called burn, and you bring that into pyro where it's then called flame instead of fuel and heat, I think it was before. So in this week we're actually going to be building our DOP network. In the previous week we used the SOP-based solver. Now we're setting up everything up from scratch ourselves, but using most of the same microsolvers again. So disturbance, bit of turbulence, dissipation, vortex confinement, shredding is something we're adding this week, which is great for getting really beautiful looking flames, which we didn't use with density previously. We'll be looking at within the pyrosolver itself, the temperature settings, looking at buoyancy and different lots of different things that we're adding on different to the previous week. After that, we're actually adding another simulation on top, which is the simulation of embers, these kind of sparks that come out of the fire. So we're looking at the idea of advection, which is driving the animation of these particles. So this is a pop simulation using the velocities from the previous fire simulation. So the sparks actually follow along in the direction of the fire, but that's not it's two separate simulations. And this is a really, really nice effect that it's not only used for fire. You can use it in looks really good for just abstract kind of work, motion graphic work, stuff like that. Then we're going to be looking at how to render fire and light it, and we're using Redshift in this case. And then we're going to be compositing all of this together in Nuke this week.